Hello and welcome to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. Hey Eric, do you know what today is?
Well, let's see. It's we're definitely not recording this on a Wednesday.
Nope. We record these and then immediately send them out.
So it's a Thursday.
That's right.
And it's also super dry despite it being extremely humid today. I think I'm a little thirsty and it's Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday.
You're also parched. I thought it was Parched Partisans Day, but Thirsty Thursday sounds better.
And I mean, hey, you know what they used to call me? The old alliterative boy. I'm surprised that they didn't come up with an alliteration for that name, but that's because everyone else called me that, so that's just how
that
it
makes
works.
sense. Right. What would you hit them back with, alliterative boy?
I said, well, look at you losers lapping all up in this loser lake. And they were like, oh my goodness. And I was like, that's right. I'm alliterative and awesome.
Wow, you really hit him hard. That was pretty good.
Something like that.
Yeah, sorry, that was deliciously dynamic. So,
there we go.
On to Thirsty Thursday. You know what we did? We cracked open a cold one and we're enjoying it. Eric, let's tell the people what we're drinking right now.
Well, you know how last week we were talking about gardening, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Our homegrown hops have already sprouted, shot up 27 feet, and now they are already producing wonderful hops, and we're making home brews. But as we wait for the home brew to really ferment and get all that good, delicious flavor that we want, we are sipping on none other than the Zero Gravity Madonna Double IPA. That's right, a mashup of our favorite skiing and some great heavy beers.
That's right. It is a double black diamond IPA, IIPA, because it's double I.
It's a IPA.
And probably 45 degrees down the head wall.
Extra hoppy. Let's be real. It's like 35.
Also, what is this? I'm getting our lawyers are telling me, Eric, we cannot lie on our podcast, and I have to inform the listeners that the homegrown hops are only 10 feet tall.
So, Alex, the thing is, the lawyers are they're partly true. So we aren't allowed to lie, but we are allowed to use hyperbole, and because that's another sort of form of speech and writing mechanic used by professionals like the poet myself.
Oh wait, what's this, Eric? The lawyers are on loads of loggers, so they might not have everything right. Interesting.
Hey, that's what happens when it's Thirsty Thursday. But I gotta say, it's a hyperbole. It's figure of speech. We're overshadowing and over exemplifying how much the hops have grown to give our listeners what we see through our wild, childish imagination as we look out into our veritable Garden of Eden out back. And so I mean, hey, I'm just trying to paint a picture. Nothing wrong with painting. I'm an artist, but I'm not a rapper. So that's it.
So, are you telling me words are your paint and this podcast is your canvas?
No,
That's
Alex.
pretty deep.
You're gonna have to cut this.
Oh, yeah, that's getting cut. Oh, wow, Eric. Yeah, that was inappropriate. I think we should move on to a much more kid-friendly topic, which is our personal favorite beverages to consume on Thirsty Thursday. Do you want to go first?
Well, on a nice sweltering, I think swelter, it's probably not swelter. Skelter, just a really, hot day in the summer, like peak July when it's roughly 90 degrees outside. The AC is broken, so you have no flow in the house. Humidity roughly 85%, 85 to 95. I love going for.
Weezer wrote a song about that. It's called Swelter Weather.
Oh, okay, yep. So when it's swelter weather, my go-to is a piping hot mug of hot cocoa.
Ooh, that's classic. Hot cocoa, delicious. Works any time of the year, especially on a nice hot summer afternoon.
And the trick, what I like to do with my hot cocoa, it's got to be, good fresh cocoa in there. And then whipped cream with some chocolate syrup on top. Just a nice little artistic, the whipped cream is my canvas. The chocolate The chocolate syrup is my paint.
Yep.
And see, that's a much more usable metaphor right there.
Oh, it's just like latte art, but it's hot chocolate art.
Yeah, so it's perfect. The whipped cream gives you that little sweetness up in there, even though it's already sweet. And there's nothing like forgetting how hot it is outside by burning your mouth and your insides.
Oh, I 100% agree. I love a good hot chocolate. And I'm going to drop a controversial opinion here. You don't need dairy in your hot chocolate to make it taste good. You just need lots of sugar.
I mean,
and cocoa, like a lot of baking cocoa. Actually, start with baking cocoa, then add honey, and then finish with, and this isn't controversial, nutmeg. The fresh stuff.
Yes,
Take
yes.
a fresh nut
Nutmeg.
and just grind that
Ooh.
baby on.
Ooh, you take your little meg and you just start you wrap it up in a nice hard shell and make it a nutmeg, and then you sort of slowly grind that just all on top of there. But a little touch of cinnamon, it goes a long way too.
Cinnamon's good too. Especially on a hot summer day. See, my personal favorite Thirsty Thursday beverage is the only beverage that quenches. That's right, agua. And for our American listeners out there, that's called water.
Wait. No, agua is Pepsi, bro.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. What's Coca-Cola again?
Coca-Cola, I believe, is cocaina.
Make sure you are drinking on a hot summer day the only beverage that satisfies. That's right. Cocaina y agua. Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
I mean, hey, if you want to get a little spicy, throw a touch of that marijuana in there, and of course, that for our English-speaking people is Sprite.
That's right. Get a little Sprite in there. I know personally that the diabetes only gets better when you add more soda. It's the only thing that refreshes me. I drink like 3 liters of Coca-Cola every day, and they don't even pay me to do it. I pay them.
So, I wake up in the morning, and I get some nice gabagool, and I also wash it down with none other than a 2 liter of Coke. Sometimes, actually, no, I take that back. A 2 liter of Coke products. So sometimes it's Mountain Dew, sometimes it's Sprite, every once in a while a root beer or two, but the Coke you can't beat. Can't beat the cocaine.
Oh, it really depends on how patriotic I'm feeling that Thursday. If I'm really feeling American, I get Coca-Cola. And if I want world peace, I get Pepsi. How about, Eric, we transition into a fun new segment, not that our podcast has any shape or form anymore. I like to call Guess That Country by its national beverage, because that's the game we're playing.
You know what? I'll put 100 on red. Let's spin that roulette. Right. Let's go.
Let's start easy. Guinness.
Okay. Okay, so the obvious answer is Ireland.
Yeah, that's
so
also.
I'm gonna go with India.
No, that's the right answer. The right answer was Ireland. That's
okay.
Their national beverage is Guinness. For some bizarre reason, national beverages seem to be focused around either caffeinated drinks or alcoholic drinks, and I really think that the United States should step up and say that water is their national drink. But the United States has no official national drink, by the way, unless you consider it brandy. We're going to move on to...
It's Mountain Dew, let's be real.
Coke products are their spiritual national drink.
It's ingrained in our culture at this point.
All right, Eric. I know that Guinness was a little tricky, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw you a real tough one. Hong Kong style milk tea. Could be any country.
Hong Kong style milk tea.
Tea, yeah.
Hong rhymes with Kong. King Kong. A great king. King. Shogunate. Japan. I'm going with Japan.
Oh, that is almost correct. Japan's national beverage is green tea, but it's Hong Kong, Eric. How could you miss it? It's right there in the title.
Wait, Hong Kong is its own country?
Well, this was before Hong Kong got absorbed into China.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, yeah, there are all those riots and whatnot. Yeah, that makes sense.
You want to stay around in Asia? I got another sweet Asian one.
What do we got?
This one is Pyongyang Sohu, an alcoholic beverage that embodies the innocent and tender hearts of the people of this country.
So, you said Pyongyang, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Pyongyang rhymes with Pyeongchang.
Which is where they have the Winter Olympics.
Is the capital of South Korea. South blank. South Africa. South Africa rhymes with. I mean, South Africa is in the continent of Africa, and you said
Yeah.
Asia.
That's where we're staying. We're staying in Asia.
2 continents, Eurasia. I'm thinking I want to say Mongolia, maybe Ukraine, but just I'm going North Korea.
That's right, you got it, baby. Kim Jong-un, he said Pyeongchang Sohu. That's the national beverage back in 2019. He was like, North Korea doesn't have a national beverage. How do we become a more legitimate dictatorship? You get a national beverage.
I love to hear that.
Let's do some more bouncing around. I got one that's pretty tricky, Eric. Where do you think the national beverage is a lager?
A lager. Well, that's got to be tough. So I know they like their lagers all across the world. I love me some lagers.
I like a big, strong man that can cut down a tree just as much as anybody else.
Ooh, you said big, strong, and tree. George Washington, Washington State. It's on the Pacific. It's the Pacific Northwest part of Europe. I'm stuck. I think I'm gonna go England.
Ooh, bummer. That is not the UK's favorite beverage, Eric. The lager is, of course, Germany. How can you miss probably the hardest one I've given you?
See, I was thinking German. I wanted to say Germany, but I was like, all right, why is it not the Niet? You know, Oktoberfest. That's what they do. Like, obviously, lager. It's a great beer, good for all everyday use. You got what is it? Anheuser-Busch. They make a great lager. They're from like Germany, right?
Yeah, sure. UK, Eric, I'm going to throw you a softball, is tea. Wales is Perry. But what about England and Scotland? Can you complete the triumvirate?
Well, I want to say the national drink of Scotland is Scotch.
It is. It's Scotch whiskey, baby. Boom. Or.
And then I think in England. So
come on, Eric. Make Scott and Craig proud. What's the second one? Double down.
Oh gosh. Well, you said England, and I know they got Beefeater. I'm going gin.
That's right. Gin. England is gin. But what's the second national beverage of Scotland? Come on, you know it, you love it. I believe it's some sort of disgusting orange soda.
It's it's like the Fizzly Booble, but not the Fizzly Booble. It's what is it called? Iron Brew.
That's right. Iron Brew is described as a soda with a rusty orange color.
And it tastes sort of like bubble gum. It
sure.
It also sits in your stomach like Moxie. You don't really know what's going on in there.
Dude, you love a Moxie. There's like 20 something flavors in there.
It's turning your insides all. It like does a nice little knot out of your intestines and everything. But I gotta love me some Moxie.
All right, this country is named after this one. We're doing our last country here before we move on to some questions because the people, they like the questions, right, Eric? Which country's national beverage, and remember, they're named after this, is port wine?
Port wine?
Yep. Not Spain wine, port wine.
So when I think of port, I think of Puerto Rico, but I know that's door. That's the rich door. So, and then the Dominican Republic, it's got a lot of ports, but Haiti also has a lot of ports. That's the Hispaniola effect. But do you know where those explorers came from? Portugal.
That's right. Portugal was actually named after port wine, the fortified wine that they put in all their boats. That's how they did all the exploring.
That's pretty good. I also heard of the Rock of Gibraltar wine. That's also a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah, Gibraltar wine's good too.
It's got that same sort of Mediterranean, not really a lot of Atlantic influences on the wine.
It also has the rust color
of Iron Brew.
Eric, do you want to move on to some questions? The people, they want the questions. They want us to stop giving them trivia. They hate trivia and they actually love questions.
Oh, okay.
Maze at Maisie Mills asks, why is literally every beverage company releasing an alcoholic drink? And they follow that up with, sorry, I don't think I'll be touching alcoholic vitamin water. No offense. Well,
that's just because she hasn't tried it. So the trick with alcoholic stuff is, especially during the pandemic when the pandemic first started and they closed up their shops, they actually just left all of their bottles and product just sitting around and it fermented. That's why they're trying to sell all this alcoholic stuff now.
That totally makes sense. There's a lot of fake sugar in vitamin water. There's even more fake sugar in vitamin water zero.
I mean, I know that's what I did. So I left out actually my milk that I accidentally spilt a little apple cider into, and by accident, I mean I love drinking apple cider with dairy.
Yeah, the way it curdles on the way down just really gets me.
It really gets me. So I accidentally left it out in the hot sun for roughly 6 weeks. And when I drank it, it was delicious.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And by that, I think it killed all of my taste buds with its hand sanitizer like taste.
Wow, I didn't know you could make alcoholic yogurt, but you did.
And then I passed out and woke up 4 days later, and wow, I felt like a new man.
Oh yeah. So the reason they're trying to cash in on this new market coming out of the pandemic, which is depress people that work at home. See, it's becoming increasingly difficult to get your day drinking on at the office, and so people are trying to drink their vitamin water at home. And through a combination of leaving their vitamin water for months on end, it's now become alcoholic.
Well, actually, Alex, I don't think you're entirely right. I think the being at home has festered a lot of alcoholism in people. So now they want to be able to drink on the job because they found out that they're even more productive when, they got a buzz going on throughout the day.
They got a healthy buzz going? Yeah.
So vitamin water, your boss he's not as well educated on the art because, he's been in the office doing his work. He walks by and he sees you sipping on some nice vitamin water. He's like, oh, this employee is just replenishing his electrolytes and getting a nice little flavor. But in reality, you're actually boozing and you're going to get great work done. So he doesn't care. But it's just sort of that stigmatism of the workplace drinking that's not really allowed. HR doesn't like it still, even though they're already sipping on the vitamin water stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I know all of my guys out operating heavy machinery are drinking some Gatorade hooch for sure.
Exactly.
Which is Gatorade's new product line, by the way. Sorry about this, Maze. I know literally every company's doing it. Gatorade has started their new line called Hooch, Performance Enhancers.
So that's the real post.
It's the post workout.
Post football game, you're beaten and bloodied, but you just drown out your sorrows with some nice Gatorade.
You've already recovered. Now get Gatorade 4 because they have like the G1 through 4, right? Get 1 through 3. Get G4 for the parking lot.
Ooh, that's what I like to hear.
Right, I think that basically wrapped up in a neat bow Maze's question. So we're gonna move on to Joe Canada Gaming 1. Joe Canada Gaming 1 asks, why is everyone so thirsty on a Thursday?
Huh? That's a great question. I mean, I got nothing to say to that. That's I don't know. There's something about Thursday, man. Just saying it Thursday. Thursday. Oh, it just makes my mouth so dry, and I think it's all the subliminal messaging that we've endured throughout the years.
That's definitely part of it. Do you want to know who is behind all of the subliminal messaging on Thirsty Thursday?
I bet it's the big corporations like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and the even bigger corporations like Big Rose.
Oh, it's much older. It's much older than even Big Rose.
What?
Yeah. We're talking 700s maybe. This has been going on for over 1,000 years.
Back in the 900s. I mean, the only people around there must have been the monks. I'm blaming the monks.
Actually, the monks were involved, but for a slightly different reason. See, the monks were being pillaged by the people who rightfully claim Thor's Day. That's right, it's Thor's Day, and if we know anything about our bro Thor, it's that he can pound brewskis with the best of them. That man rolls into mead halls and puts all the other frat gods to shame, which is why he has been pushing Thirsty Thursday since it became Thor's Day. He's like, everybody get your mead horns up, baby! And that's why everyone, right in their soul, feels extra thirsty on Thursday.
You see? The worst part about that is that makes complete sense to me.
It's completely true.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, yeah, You're a big, strong Viking guy. You just celebrated a wonderful conquest on this Thursday. You gotta celebrate with the gods themselves. Bust out that mead pint and just go to town. It's actually in our DNA.
If you're related to any of the monks they pillaged or the Vikings, I mean, that's why you get so thirsty.
That makes sense.
Yep, divine intervention since over 1,000 years ago. All right, Eric, do you want to wrap up this Thirsty Thursday themed podcast with a rundown of who's sponsoring us this Thursday?
Yeah, of course. I would like to thank the Essex Half Marathon, July 29th, 2012 Pint Glass for holding my beverage on this lovely Thursday as I record this podcast.
This podcast wouldn't be possible without Zero Gravity for making a delicious Madonna Double IPA in order to get this podcast out to the people. Thank you, Zero Gravity.
And we couldn't have done it without Big Rose. They're back and bigger than ever, and it's a Thursday, so drink. It's not like they're doing any drink. Ooh, it's not like they're doing any subliminal message drink or anything.
That's right. And this podcast is also brought to you by alliteration. We got Thirsty Thursday, Wine Wednesdays, sponsored by Big Rose. We got all the dates in there. We got Twisted Tuesdays. We got More Drinks Wet Mondays. You know, we got them all.
Sippin' Saturday, Sluggin' Sunday, Frantically Drinking Friday, We Chuggin' Wednesday. And of course, we couldn't have done this without our main sponsor this week, Homegrown Hops. That's right, it was only hyperbole, according to our lawyers. The hop plants have not actually taken over the entire garden. They're only, like 12 feet tall, probably a 13 by the end of this podcast. And they have not coned yet, but when they do, we're going to create probably one of the most delicious beverages that the DeWitt residents has ever seen.
Oh my God, they're coming for me. They're growing through the window. Oh God.
Say me low. Say me low.
I think he's eating them. He's eating them back. Oh my God. Whew. Just hyperbole, by the way, folks. I'm perfectly safe.
And we couldn't have done it without Joe Canada Gaming. The man asks great questions. Brought to you by Joe Canada Gaming. Check out his Twitter at Joe Canada Gaming.
This podcast is brought to you by Bilo the hamster. I'm pretty sure his water is all out because he also knows it's Thirsty Thursday. That's right. Bilo the hamster. The best gaming hamster in all the land. He can beat any of those capybaras in CSGO.
Dude, that's bold. Those capybaras are good. They're big nerds.
Oh, they really are gamers. All right, Eric, you want to wrap this podcast up?
I thought that's what we were doing.
Oh, yeah. Whoops daisies. All right. This has been another episode of Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. I'm Alex.
I am Eric.
And for the love of God, man,
just stand it. I was going to say, I didn't hear the beat.
I don't think that's how that works. Craig, get out of here. All right, Einstein, educate yourself.
The tried and true fact that it's Mexico somewhere, so you might as well start with some hard stuff, right?
Yeah, why not? Especially on Thirsty Thursday of all days.
Have you finished your beer yet?
Not yet.
Neither have I. That's good.
I'm enjoying it. It's real.
It's good. It's tasty.
It's got a lot of IPA in there. Always drops on Thursday, so get your good podcasts on the best day of the week. Thank you, Thor.